Hello, welcome to another broadcast of Master Investors Company. Glad to be here again on another valuable video that will help you build passive income. Specifically, we're giving you high quality financial education made simple. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe because we are given the tools, resources, and the education that you need in order to build a life with total freedom. To have an extraordinary life, we all need 4 pillars, which makes an extraordinary life. We talk about it here all the time. Those are health, wealth, love, and happiness. So on today's blog, we're going to be talking about what are the foundations of financial education. Okay, you can go to our main website here at masterinvestor.education, and you can find our products. You can get our latest ebook, The 10 New Rules of Money to Become Wealthy. The rules of money have changed over the decades, and it's critical that you know which are the new rules of money so that you operate and approach money and investing with the rich mindset. You can find this ebook on Amazon as well. You can download it to your Kindle app, but I suggest you that you come here and get it from our main website because it comes with more benefits, okay? And that way you become a paid partner of ours. Our mission here in Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple with lucrative opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Ultimately, to give you total freedom, right? Take control over your time, make your own decisions, do whatever you want at any given time, and the ability to manifest your dreams on demand because you have excess of cash flow from your businesses that are constantly working hard for you, and money's working hard for you rather than you working hard for the money. Here at Master Investor, we focus on passive income, okay? So I want to invite you to get one of our courses, enroll. This one right here, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On, has a total guide to learning how to build cash flow from the internet filled with financial education made simple. Learn the new rules of money and invest with them to get wealthy fast. The book has over 500 pages long. It comes with some perks. You have a personal financial statement that you will download and fill it out so you understand where you are financially today. Remember, we don't tell you where to invest. We give you the knowledge so that you take massive action and you do your own due diligence in which sectors, or I should say which asset classes you want to go into and build those assets on your asset column, okay? So it's important that you make your own decisions. We don't tell you to get into something because we're here to give you financial education specifically to help you build passive income. So in order to do that, you need to take control over your time, over your own decisions, incorporate your own company, and we have all the resources that can help you do just that. We also have a mutual agreement for finder's fees. So when you meet new relationships out there, you can put this agreement in front of them, and it's going to make you look professional and ethical because it's going to give them a detailed agreement between both parties, and it's going to let them know, hey, if I send business to your business, I would like to get a commission or percentage of that individual making a purchase from your business or whatever product or services. As long as they continue to buy, this agreement will provide you with a percentage over something that they purchase from somebody else that you know and that you send them your way. So a lot of times people leave money on the table because they don't have a mutual agreement with the individuals that they know. So it's all about building networks that produce passive income. And this is a perfect way to get you going that direction because it's going to put in paper on a contract, and you can renew this every year with the other party. And it's total ethical to do this. In fact, it's the right thing to do as a business owner and entrepreneur. So let's start with today's blog. And before we go ahead and dive into what we have for today, I want to give you, and I want to make this a habit every time we do a live broadcast, I want to give you a term of the day in regards to financial education. So today we have something that is called the 3-year rule. The 3-year rule is an estate tax provision of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code that applies in determining the assets included in descendants' gross state. When individuals have made a transfer of assets, whether by trust or otherwise, within 3 years of the date of the death, the value of the transfer assets may be included in the gross states. If a descendant's taxable estate exceeds the estate tax exemption, the value of such assets increases the state's tax liability. While gifts generally are excluded from states, the 3-year rule requires the inclusion of some gifts. Although gifts that do not exceed the annual gift tax exemption are exempt from the 3-year rule and excluded from states, the amount by which the fair market value of gifts exceeds the annual exclusion plus the taxes paid on these gifts is included. Okay? Make sure that if you have a question or any comment, make sure you drop it on the comment section. We'll be answering any question and commenting back to your feedback. Okay? So let's dive into our blog today. You can find the link in the description, and also you can find the link to join our well courses right below. Okay? Follow us on all platforms at Master Investor. Look for the logo. Become a pay partner. Become a supportive and a fan of Master Investor, because we're giving you what you need in order to build true wealth. We are the authentic brand of money, business, and investing. Okay? So one of the most important things that we need is the ability to turn information into knowledge. Okay? Just having the information doesn't do you too much unless you turn that into knowledge. Okay? And knowledge is the ability to grab that information and take massive action and do something with it. So for many people in this generation, money was a dirty subject that was not appropriate to talk about, let alone with children. Majority of people in the world, ironically, never wanted to talk about money. As a result, they never learned about it. They only learned how to work hard for money. We were left to our own devices. For majority, money was a dirty subject that was not appropriate to talk about, let alone with children, right? So what we got to understand that, in even including these times, we have experienced, when we talk about money being taboo. It's a conversation that we shouldn't have, but actually it's something that we should have at all times, even on our dinner table, with family, with strangers, because money makes the world go round, and it's a currency that we use to exchange for something that we desire. Whether it's a trip, whether it's something material that we want, we need that currency in order to make that happen. So the more currency we have in our disposal, and the more we understand how to attract it and how to manifest more businesses that produce passive income and things that we're passionate about in solving a problem in the marketplace, the more we're going to be able to influence the world with our ideas and our desires. So it's very important that you take in charge of your decisions, and also take in charge of what you are consuming every day, because we have 24 hours a day, as you already know, right? Because if you're watching this, whether you are poor, middle, or in the rich class, we all have the same amount of time every day. And so we got to take advantage of those 24 hours and schedule them to improve our financial education, to help us bring more passive income, to create more freedom for the future, and to be able to solve problems in the world. So be a problem solver. What types of problems do you want to solve? What are your passions? And what is your purpose in life, right? So the difference between the rich and poor. For many, if you follow the old rules of money, you could be comfortable and would struggle with investing. This means going to college, getting a good job, investing in stocks, and saving in the bank and buying a house. Remember, poor people complain about pay and hard work. Rich people do something to solve that problem. And entrepreneurs and investors, an entrepreneur and investor is always looking to solve a problem in the world. What is the problem you would like to solve? That's the question of today's video blog, right? I want you to write down what type of problem on the chat box would you like to solve. Maybe problems. It doesn't have to be one specifically. And then you can hone down in 2 or 3 and marry those and build a system or systems that will solve and deliver a solution to that problem. Okay, what is the essence to becoming rich? The essence of becoming rich is to take control over your own financial future rather than rely on a boss or a company to do that for you. The rich people are proactive problem solvers who find solutions rather than complain. Master Investors Company was created to solve a problem with a solution. The problem is the lack of high-quality financial education made simple. We are going to constantly provide high-quality financial education to solve that problem. As many of you know, our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. How young is too young to learn about money? The poor class always tend to believe that kids are too young to learn about money, but the rich, on the other hand, you are never too young to learn about money. You know, we teach, and if you are around rich people, they always tend to be talking about money, investing, and how important it is to create assets or acquire assets that produce passive income, assets that are solving a problem in the marketplace, right? And so we want to be talking about it all the time because we can actually improve the world talking about money. Thankfully, attitudes over time have changed when it comes to teaching kids about money. A 2018 study by USA Today reported that only 2 out of 10 baby boomer parents talk to kids 12 and under about money, but 4 out of 10 millennial parents are teaching their kids about money because of technology and the ability to tap into devices, smart devices such our phones and computers and iPads, and how easy it is to access the internet today has made it more accessible for kids to learn about money. Now we can target kids through this video, right? This video is appropriate for anyone to listen to. There's nothing wrong with what we're giving here at Master Investors Company. We're giving you the financial education that is missing in schools, and we are providing great tools and resources so that people can learn how to build their wealth and build true freedom into their life. The problem, however, is that millennial parents aren't teaching their kids the best material when it comes to financial advice. Here's what the survey by US Today had to say. When do parents start talking finances with their children? You can see it on your screens. You can also find this on our main blog. As you can see, saving for college, 12 or younger, 32%. Teens, 47%. And their 20s, 9%. Start saving early, 30%. 12 or younger. 42%, those are the teens, and 21% in their 20s. Making a budget, only 90%, 12 or younger, 52% the teens, 22% in their 20s. Managing and avoiding debt, 16% 12 or younger, 46% teens, 31% in their 20s. This is a big problem because debt is actually a great tool to become rich for free. So there are two types of debt, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. But just remember that, having good credit, 13%, 12 or younger, 50% teens, 31% in their 20s. Investing, 13%, and 12 or younger, 36% teens, 39% in their 20s. Using credit cards, 11%, 12 or younger, 58% teens, 26% in their 20s. Buying a car, 8%, 12 or younger, 58% teens, 39% in their 20s. Oh, let me see, 26. Oh no, that was 60%. Yeah, 24% in their 20s for buying a car. Right. Renting your first apartment, 8%, 12 or younger, 39% teens, 47% in the 20s. Paying off loans, 8%, 12 or younger, 32% teens, 41% in the 20s. Saving for retirement, 7%, 12 or younger, 26% teens, 50% in the 20s. Buying a home, 7%, 12 or younger, 20% teens, 55% in the 20s. So as we can see, very little they're teaching people how to actually rent their first property, how to use their credit card to invest into an asset that produces passive income, how to start a business, etc. There's information missing here, financial education missing, because the millennial parents are giving their own education to their kids because they're grabbing it from financial advisors that don't know anything about financial education, really. Okay, so we're going to talk about it here in a minute. As the old saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. While it is a good thing that millennial parents are teaching their kids about money at a younger age than previous generations, what they are teaching will only set their kids up for financial failure later in life. Of course, this is because they can only teach what they have learned. If you aren't convinced that these financial lessons are garbage, I would suggest you read one of our other posts, Why Savers Are Losers, and the millennial generation may be the biggest losers of all. What they teach kids. The truth is schools raise good little employees. Soon kids will be returning to school and they will be learning. They will learn to think the way the poor think. Don't take risks. Don't find unique angles. Don't think outside the box. They are taught to stick to a strict schedule. They are taught to do extra work outside those hours. They are taught to not question authority or establish systems. They are taught to work alone, and that working as a group is cheating. And they are taught that the kids who follow these ways of doing things get the top marks. And remember, business, money, and investing is a team sport. We always say that here. So if schools are teaching kids that being in a team is cheating, then when they graduate from school, they're going to want to do things by themselves. And that is a big problem, because when it comes to money, business, and investing, if you're doing things on your own, you're already losing from the start, because there are teams out there ready to kick anybody's butt when it comes to money, business, and investing. So your competition is going to eat you alive if you think, or if you teach your kids that, being in a team is cheating or doing things as a team. So what I want you to get as a new entrepreneur, if you are one, or if you're an existing one, is that you need to become a person that loves to engage in a team environment and also acquire new members into your team, because those around you will be able to fulfill your vision and your mission to help you reach the solution that you are providing into the marketplace. You cannot do it alone. It's going to be very difficult, and it's going to set you up for failure if you don't acquire smarter people than you are. Okay, the whole purpose of having a team is that we have smart people around us to help us succeed in what we are doing. Okay, what the rich teach kids. Every parent wants the absolute best for the kids' future, but the rich teach their kids differently, creating entrepreneurs. Thoughts, their kids, though their kids go to school and learn all of these same things, I notice a different quality in their kids. I have very rich friends myself, and their parents actually a lot of times rather do homeschool with them. The only reason why they will send them to school is to get a good network, okay? Because there are great people that go to school that you will need down the road. So you want to have your kid being able to go to a school where you are going to build a great network. So the kids are entrepreneur in their thinking and aren't afraid to question accepted ways of doing things. For instance, I have a friend whose father is a very wealthy person in the United States, and all he ever talks to his kid, his name is Kevin, is to create assets, to build assets that produce passive income, to acquire real estate, commercial, to do things that are around his passions so that he can solve a problem in the marketplace. And every time he gets on the phone with his father, it's about, creating wealth, because money is very important in this world. You can't get far without. So it's something that they've been taught since they're kids, to think about money and how to create money and how to use maybe less resources to create more value for a better price, so that the masses can, buy or purchase and take advantage of the solution that we are offering to them, right? So it's important that we think about money all the time. How are you going to get rich? How are you going to make your fortune? It's not about waiting till you retire. And a lot of people out there in the world, all they think about is going to work every single day, and they think that that's the right way to do it. If they physically feel like they're doing some sort of job, they think that they're doing the right thing about money. And so a job can be a blockage to your wealth. So think about what you're doing. Who are you listening to? What are you doing every single day? Where's your time being invested to? And start orchestrating your life around people that are elevating you, that are helping you think farther, that are listening to your dreams and visions, that want to see you successful, okay? Because it's important. We only can do so much in 24 hours. So if you're spending majority of your time at your job, then you have no time to think about money and how you're going to solve problems in the marketplace, because you're too busy solving somebody else's problems, right? So the rich, they teach them how money, business, and investing works since they're kids. So every time my friend gets on the phone with his father, all they talk about is like, what business are you doing today? What are your plans for the next year? And it's everything about solving a problem through a business and building wealth, okay? But perhaps most of all, rather than discourage their harebrained schemes their kids come up with to make money, they allow them to chase wild ideas and both make mistakes as well as enjoy great successes. We should all be so lucky to think outside of the box. Right? We have to get used to thinking outside the box when it comes to starting our own business. Thinking of something that we want to do, we got to start expanding our ideas. And the way to do that is by putting ourselves in the right environments with the right people and taking risks, because when it comes to money, business, and investing, it's all about risk taking. But the smarter we are with financial education, the more we have, the more knowledge we have under our belt, the more calculated the risk is, so we minimize liability. So the reality is that, when you are building a business, is that you need a team of people. You're going to need systems. You're going to need to provide value to your customers, to your leads, so they feel overwhelmed with your free value, so that they feel like they have to pay you now for your products and services regardless of your price, because you have done so much for their lives that they want to pull out their credit card and their money and invest in your business. So, providing value to them, tell them great stories, because people remember great stories. Facts are something, it tells the truth about something, but when we learn how to tell stories and you become a storytelling person, then you're going to be able to sell a lot more on autopilot, because people remember the stories that they're being told. Example, when you try to remember a story that your parents told you when you were a kid, you remember everything that was going on at that very moment, because it's so vivid in our imagination. Because when we tell a story, it paints a picture into people's mind. So it creates that anchor into people's memory. So you can bring that story back up into your file in the present time, and it feels like it was yesterday, because it's a picture. So very important to create a picture when we're telling a story, right? So you want to practice that in your videos, in everything that you're doing. Paint the picture. If you're raising money from private investors, you want to be able to paint that vision into people's mind, okay? And you get better at it the more you do it. It's like anything else. It's like coming into a camera. You turn it on, you start talking, and you get used to doing this over and over again. You become better. You become sharper. You start, becoming an authority to the people out there, because they're watching and listening and paying attention to my voice and to your voice. And so we are growing every step that we take. So the question is, where are you growing to? Are you growing towards the things that you want to grow and achieve, or you wasting too much time in things that you really do not want to grow into? So pay attention to where you invest your time. So the foundations of financial education. Finally, the rich ensure their kids are well aware of 4 foundations of financial education. This is by far the most important lessons kids will learn when it comes to money. These foundations will set both you and your kids up for financial success if you internalize them and spend your life learning more and more about them. The 4 foundations are: 1, understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. In simple terms, an asset puts money in our pocket whenever we're not working, is working hard for us, doing the selling and telling for us. A liability is the very opposite, takes money away from us. Number 2, cash flow versus capital gains. Remember, cash flow is the same thing as passive income. Capital gains is when you buy something at a certain price and you sell it for a higher price, okay? Here at Master Investor, we focus on cash flow assets, on passive income, okay? And there are 3 types of income. Earned income or ordinary income, that's when you exchange your time for money. You have a paycheck, you have a job, you have to show up, and you get a paycheck or salary every 2 weeks, okay, for the time that you work. Income number 2 is capital gain income, and that is taxed also at a higher bracket, okay? And the 3rd type of income is cash flow, aka passive income, and that's what we focus here at Master Investor. Financial education will give you the knowledge that you need in order to build passive income, which ultimately creates true wealth and gives you total freedom. Number 3, using good debt and taxes to get rich. A lot of people are afraid of taxes and debt. They say, the more taxes you pay, the better. No, the more money you make through passive income, the lower your taxes are. and you can actually minimize taxes legally to zero when you have the right financial team around your business. Okay, so if you have the right tax attorney and accountant, you'll be able to do tax strategy and allocate the funds and the cash flow into the right things to help you minimize your taxes. Because when you do what the tax code tells you to do exactly, and do what the corporate law tells us to do, then our government becomes our partner and the laws become our partner, because the laws and the tax code are a big incentives for entrepreneurs and smart investors that know what they're doing, right? So the more knowledge we have about financial education, the more we can use debt to become wealthy fast, and also to pay zero in taxes legally. So how to be tax-free, okay, for free, because we're using debt, other people's money, OPM. 4, making your own financial decisions. Again, this is very critical, because a lot of people out there talking about finances, money, business, and investing, but they're telling people where to invest. They're not teaching them anything about money or business. And they think that by putting your money somewhere is going to make them rich. And that is not the case. You have to understand that the more knowledge you have, the more you want to take financial decisions on your own. Okay, building true assets that produce passive income and that you have full control, and they're under your companies. Okay, discovering the 4 pillars of financial education. As I stated above, it's important to spend your life learning more and more about these pillars and setting an example for your kids or your associates in the team that you are building. To create rich people, you have to teach them the way the rich would, right? Foundation of financial education, number 1, the difference between an asset and a liability. Many people think they know what an asset is. For instance, you probably think your house is an asset, but it is not. The truth is that there are 2 definitions of an asset. The rich, if you live in your house and you pay it every month by going to work, then it's not an asset, because it's not putting money into your pocket. However, if you rent the house through Airbnb and you move out, and the house now brings you twice as much or 3 times as much as the mortgage, and is leaving you positive cash flow every month after all the expenses are paid, then it is an asset. The rich use another definition grounded in simplicity and reality. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, and liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Your house is not an asset because it takes money out of your pocket each month. Even if you own your house outright, you still have to pay for the taxes, maintenance, and more out of your pocket. But if you own a rental property, that can be an asset if it puts money in your pocket each month in the form of cash flow when your tenant pays rent. They cover your mortgage, maintenance, taxes, and more. Foundation of financial education, number 2, cash flow versus capital gains. Most people invest for capital gains because they have no knowledge about cash flow or passive income. They have no knowledge about financial education. The rich invest for cash flow. Simply put, investing for capital gains is like gambling, because you're relying on the market to go up. And as a true master investor, we understand that the market goes up and down, and the history repeats itself. So there's always going to be a crash in the economy. So what we do here at Master Investor is that we prepare for any type of market through having high quality financial education under our belt. So we know exactly what to do when the market crashes and how to profit from it. Instead of panicking, we have the knowledge to take massive action. So while everybody's panicking and running away from their mismanaged assets, then we have the opportunity of a lifetime to acquire assets for free. You invest your money and hope the price goes up. For instance, many people buy a house hoping they will be able to sell it for more money later. In the meantime, they have to pay their mortgage and home expenses. Money goes out of the pocket, it becomes a liability. The problem is that when you invest for capital gains, you have no control over whether the price goes up or down. And the bigger issue is if you do make a profit, you pay the highest rate in taxes. Conversely, the rich invest for cash flow, aka passive income. So for instance, they buy investment real estate with other people's money, debt, right? Find tenants to pay the expenses and collect rent each month. It becomes an asset, and there's capital gains. And if there's capital gains, that is a bonus. So we focus on passive income using other people's money. And the cool thing about using debt is that debt is tax-free because money is created with debt, okay? And that goes back to 1971 when President Nixon separated the gold standard from the dollar. From that point on, money became currency. It stopped being money, okay? So it became fiat, it became paper money, it became monopoly money, it became just an idea backed up by confidence. By investing for cash flow instead of capital gains, the rich have control over their income and pay the lowest rate in taxes and sometimes nothing in taxes legally. It's always critical that you do everything legally and ethically because we are doing this to have total freedom. And so we don't ever want to risk our main reward, which is freedom, by doing something that is not lawful, okay? That is why it's important to understand financial education so you can obtain your wealth legally so it never can be taken away. But investing for cash flow, while a simple concept, requires a strong financial education in order to make your own financial decisions. Foundation of financial education number 3, using debt and taxes to get richer. Your financial advisor will tell you that debt is bad and taxes are inevitable. But the rich understand that both debt and taxes can be used to create immense wealth. When it comes to debt, there are two kinds, bad and good. When your financial advisor tells you stay out of debt, she or he means stay out of bad debt. Bad debt comes in the form of borrowing money for liabilities such as using a credit card to buy TVs and take vacations, borrowing a line of credit on your personal home, and more to acquire liabilities. Okay, staying out of bad debt is good advice, but the problem is that your financial advisor won't tell you about good debt. Good debt is debt used to purchase assets like rental property or something that produces passive income without us physically working to make the passive income. It is a system doing the selling and telling for us on autopilot. At the same time, that solves a problem in the marketplace. When you use the bank's money to purchase cash flow in real estate, you use less of your own money to secure an asset by paying only a down payment instead of full price. And your tenant's rent pays off your debt while you own the asset and pocket the profit, or you control the asset, whether you still owe the bank the debt that you borrow, you're controlling that asset. And that's what's key, is the control. It's not so much the ownership, okay? The rich care about controlling. You know, we're controlling this vehicle, this investment vehicle, to take us from point A financially to point B financially. When it comes to taxes, the rich understand that governments write tax codes to encourage specific types of behavior. If governments want you to build affordable housing, they give you a tax cut. If they want to encourage oil exploration, they give you a tax cut. If they want to see higher employment, they give you a tax cut. That's what's important, to understand the tax code, because you just do what it is encouraged you to do, and you have tax breaks all along the way, okay? The secret is that most tax benefits are made to help entrepreneurs and investors. With the right financial education, you too can utilize the tax code to not only get richer, but also pay nothing in taxes. Utilizing good debt and getting richer through taxes takes a high level of financial intelligence, but everyone can learn and put these principles into practice. Foundation of financial education number 4, making your own financial decisions. When you are not confident about your knowledge of money, you let others make your financial decisions for you. So don't buy into people telling you out there, hey, give me your money, I'm going to invest it for you, and you don't know what is going on. Okay, if you truly want to take control over your wealth and start building it correctly, then you're going to have to double down on your financial education. Join here at Master Investor in our community by watching our free live broadcasting that we have, reading our blog, investing in one of our courses, right? Because you'll have that for a lifetime, and it's something that you can do and no one can ever take that away from you. Okay, it's something that is not going to break your bank account, it's not going to make you poorer, it's going to give you the knowledge to make you ultra rich, because you're going to need it in order to build true passive income. Okay, you let your broker decide how your money should be invested. That's what many people do, right? They let their broker, they let their salespersons tell them what to do with their money, but they don't even have a clue what they're doing themselves, because they live off of commissions. You let your bank tell you what interest rate is worthy of your money. You follow whatever investing trend is popular in the news. The rich don't follow the crowds. They set trends and are gone by the time the trends become mainstream. What is the secret? They think for themselves about money and make their own financial decisions because they have a high financial intelligence. The key to building great wealth is having great knowledge to act on and great wisdom to know which course of action is the best. This kind of knowledge and wisdom only comes through high financial intelligence gained from applying yourself to financial education. Getting started. When aiming to create financially literate kids, remember that a true financial education will teach young people to know the difference between an asset and liability, how to make passive income rather than to be passive about income, how to use debt and taxes to get rich, and finally, how to think critically for themselves about money and investing. My advice is to start teaching those around you about money as soon as they are able to understand what money is. In my opinion, there's no such thing as too young. It is only a matter of when they are ready. Start reading our ebook, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. This is our cover right here. It's good for anyone who is wanting to achieve their dreams and build true wealth. Okay, learn where you are in the money game. Start building passive income with the right knowledge. Okay, you have some lucrative tools right here that I left for you. You can follow us, listen to our podcast, follow us on Facebook page, TikTok, Instagram, and join our inner circle. If you like this video blog, please like, share, and comment. Join our extraordinary community. Learn how to build cash flow here at Master Investor. We help you build true wealth and total freedom. Okay, so you have the 4 pillars of financial education to build true wealth. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time, bringing the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Stay strong. Bye for now.